Barbarianism is practiced in the Catholic Church in two ways. The first being the institutionalized evil, the child abuse, the mother and baby homes, the dependence on instilling fear, the extortion through absolvents, 300 years, if not more, of race wars against everyone who wasn't Catholic, especially Muslims and Jews, and the second being the mightier than thou perpetuation through the mindset of superiority, which I think Thomas Hardy calls biased niceness. Yet, despite they're doing all these evil things, they look so proper, they're so reserved, hence the reserve part of reserve barbarism. They hide it behind, their aptness. They are the most severely appropriate institution in the world. No one questions the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church is always right. They are the direct descendant of Jesus himself and his leadership, but they are abysmal, and they are abusing that power, that cloak of invisibility, to do these heinous things, and they get away with it because of how thickly veiled they've put this reserve up. But then they come around on anyone else so strictly. Anyone who has sex outside of missionary is told they're destined to hell, where there are priests fucking kids. Like, abortion is murder, yet the tens of thousands who die in their institutions at the hands of nuns just because they had a baby out of wedlock they're excusable. They're not murders. Those are fine. There are bishops out there abusing people and then condemning people for not attending church. There's love your neighbor, unless they're a gay young Muslim, they're a black, or they're a woman, or they're sexually active. There's hypocrisies on every level, and it is just done. You're wanted to live in these rules, under these rules, and by a book and the words of these high authorities who would never follow a thing they're saying, because if they can keep you down and they can keep this view that they are the supreme good, they are the supreme appropriateness, the most proper standpoint, and you keep going by that and you enforce that mindset through biased niceness. If you keep doing that and you fall for that, they can get away with what they keep doing. They can keep growing these child sex abuse rings. They can keep extraditing and exploiting and literally causing the deaths of young mothers and their babies. They can say it's all God's will and have people believe it, when how would an all-loving God will upon this? This is the actions of an institution determined to keep control through fear and appearance of aptness and literal torture techniques. They are not torture in the terms of stabbing and cutting a person. They are so wide, they're in the psyche. They have, for thousands of years, been digging into the brain of society and have definitely got their claws into us and our mindsets, and they are using it to rid the world of people they dislike, of people deemed sinful, not by a God, by them. If it were the rule of God, would the sinners not be forgiven, as the literal Bible says, not locked away in institutions where, they've accidentally all died? How'd that happen? Not because of a systematic neglect. The institutional Catholic Church is one of the worst we will ever see, and it being one of the biggest religious institutions is exactly the reason why. It's gone on for far too long, and it's not going to end without absolute denunciation. So look into the facts, look behind the smiling priests, the happy sermons, the positive homilies, look behind the gospel truths, and you will see evil. You will see the most satanic shit